Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tailgate Talk. We're your hosts, David, Nick, and Joe. Boys, say hi to the people.
People, Bodie, say hi to the
What's
people.
up?
We've got another special guest star today. Adorable guest star this week. Say hi.
Say hi, buds. Say hi, Paladin. He's not very social today.
That's
You have
okay.
to forgive my co-host.
We are always happy to see the puppies. Well, with that, let's get right into it. Another great week of college football. Nick, you want to get us started off with who disappointed you and who impressed you this week?
Yeah, so my disappointment doesn't really affect me, but it goes out to everybody who bet money on Missouri. They were so close to covering. They were winning the whole game, and then they throw a pick six deep in their own territory to lose by 10. Just a bad beat. Prayers out to anybody who bet Mizzou to cover. Feel bad for you. Hey, David. And then my impressive team of the week, Red River Rivalry. Oklahoma and Brent Venables picked up a massive win. I mean, this team last year lost 49-0. It looked terrible. People were already starting to say, like, is Brent the guy? Like, I remember a lot of Oklahoma fans were nervous. But he trusted the process, did his thing, and old Jimmy Green Beans is doing pretty well in Norman. So I mean, love you, Brent. Wish you were still here, but happy to see you succeeding. And yeah, that was a massive win for Oklahoma over Texas. I think a lot of people were high on Texas. I think a lot of people were already kind of sliding them into the playoffs, and now Oklahoma can kind of ride this and take the Big 12's kind of mantle right now and be like, hey, we're the top dog. We're still the team to beat. So big week for the Sooners, big week for Brent Venables and Texas. I know people are going to make fun of you for saying you're back and then losing, but I mean, they still have their whole season in front of them. And I hope we get those teams again in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, so for me, it's pretty simple. My loser is Ryan Day. No, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, my loser is Texas A&M. Texas A&M is hold on, Buzz. Come here. Texas A&M is paying their coach $10 million a year for the next 10 years, right?
Good old Jimbo.
Right? He every week proves to us that he should not be making that money. That Texas A&M has all of the recruiting skills, they have all of the equipment, they have all of the donors for NIL, and yet they still can't get it done. They still can't be the top dog in a weak SEC West and a weak SEC as a whole. So they're on my poopy list this week. As for winners, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma as well. Listen, it's easy for people to count them out when they lost 49-0 last year, in the country, when they have the win over Alabama, but that didn't seem to matter. I thought Brent Venables and his coaching staff coached like their hair was on fire and went out and tried to go win that game, where Sark tried to not lose it. And at the end of the day, that is what his demise was. So yeah, Texas is back. And they can still redeem themselves by not losing, winning out, and winning the Big 12 title, because they'll probably meet Oklahoma there. But yeah, the loser was Texas A&M, and the winner was Brent Venables and that coaching staff.
Yeah, for me, disappointment is myself. My picks 0-4 for the second time this season. You hate to see it. Drop me back down below 500. I got to dig deep. So I'm coming back with some new, refreshed energy this week, doubling down on all of my promises, and we gonna get it. We gonna get it.
Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of work to do during that bowl pick season.
I won it last year, so I just got to get to the postseason.
Yeah, but I came in halfway through, and now that I'm a full-time co-host as my chair drops, I just want to say that I am moving along. I'm bussing over here, and Nick's cooking as well. Listen, Nick's cooking as well. We're gonna make it hard for you.
If
All I'm going to
by
say is
cooking you
don't call
mean
it a comeback.
500, then yeah, Nick's cooking.
Hey, don't call it a comeback. You can't come back if you never fall behind.
Exactly. So here we are. Now it's my turn to come back.
Nope, that's my thing.
And with that, my winner of the week, I feel really winner of the season, at least for Clemson this year, the defense. I mean, these guys have been playing since that after that Duke game, like their heads on fire. A lot of big plays, forcing turnovers. They are the reason that Clemson is doesn't have the 4 losses in their record right now. So
No, for real.
I'm giving Wes Goodwin as much props as I can. I know people are still frustrated with him because he doesn't have the same kind of intensity that Brent Venables had. But I mean, you look at what he's been doing, and the defense has been where it needs to be this past year. So I'm giving it all to him. I mean, you look at last year against Wake Forest. Granted, had Sam Hartman, but you look at last year against Wake Forest, they go to triple overtime, giving up gazillion points, Nick's dream. And this year, it's my dream, defense. And I'm loving it. Absolutely. They are the reason that I will be considering Clemson for the under every week now, which will drive Nick's head on fire. But you know what? Screw it. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving seeing the defense play well. I just need the offense to pick it up.
I want you to know that was the hardest game to sit through ever, and it was because there were no points. So thank you for that.
Also, one, I need like 2 minutes of everybody's time. I feel like now is the time to eulogize the Notre Dame Fighting Irish here on this podcast. Okay. We decided that we were going to hold out hope after that Ohio State game. And by all means, I thought we should have. It was a good loss. I think we could have moved on. Last week against Duke, I was a common fan, and I was like, you know what? Even though we won by only, what was it? 7, even though we only won by 7 or whatever it was, it was a dogfight all the way through, and that's going to make us better throughout the season. And then they went in and got their junk kicked in on national television by the Louisville Cardinals, who is a basketball school in the middle of Kentucky. They looked poor throughout the entire game. They looked that they did not want to be there. And I think it's now time to take that moment of silence that you guys took for Clemson, for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Rest in peace to the 2023 season. Mark the date and time at 10/9/23 at 21:51 hours, time of death.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for laughing during the moment of silence.
I'll put it this way:
You're welcome.
Louisville looks legit this year. Notre Dame is going through a stretch of coming up this week. It'll be their 4th straight ranked game. I mean, it's tough. That's a gauntlet. ACC is looking really strong this year. Outside of Clemson, you've got all these other teams that have picked up so much. You look at Florida State, you look at Duke, you look at.
Don't look at Miami anymore.
You don't. Well, yeah, not really.
Yeah, they won't kneel the ball. So as long as you get them in a close game within the last 30 seconds, give them the ball, you're good.
But I mean, it's ACC is looking really strong this year. So I don't think this is the first time that Notre Dame has lost in the regular season to an ACC team, and since the agreement for you guys to play part-time in the conference.
Yeah.
Who would have thought the first team to beat them in the regular season would have been Louisville?
Yeah, I wonder what the odds were on FanDuel for that. Probably like plus 10
really?
million.
So
before we move on, birds don't have teeth.
Yeah, that's so true. And also
before we move on for that, some do.
One last question, and this has been bothering me now that we've been talking about the ACC. I know that we usually follow the schedule or whatever. One last question that I want to pose to you guys, because you guys are the ACC experts. Is Drake May a Heisman guy, and why does it feel like no one's talking about him? That was my last question. Yeah, I've been thinking about it for the past week.
No one's been talking about him as much because he hasn't. He's thrown more interceptions, I believe, this year up to this point. Also, UNC really hasn't had an opportunity to kind of have like a marquee matchup yet. Yeah, they had South Carolina.
Right.
Yeah, so they'll start now. They're getting into the meat and potatoes part of their schedule. They got Miami this week. They play Clemson later on. And then if they win out in the ACC, then they'll probably make it to Charlotte and play most likely Florida State. So Drake May he's been flying under the radar because they really haven't played anybody. But he'll get his shine. I mean, Miami's still a good defensive team. All for 59 minutes and 30 seconds of that game, they outplayed Georgia Tech.
Right.
So he'll have that opportunity. He'll have an opportunity in Death Valley against Clemson. I forget who else they play. I'm sure they play NC State, who's always tough on defense. So he'll have his opportunity to play some teams. But yeah, it's just a schedule right now. Hasn't really panned out to get him attention.
Yeah, perfect. It's just been a thought on my mind. We can move on whenever you guys are good. But yeah, that was a thought on my mind this week. And I now that we were talking about the SEC, it reminded me. So I figured I'd pose a question to my ACC experts.
And look out for this down the road for the ACC. You've got a possibility that you could have 3 undefeated ACC teams at the end of the regular season who don't play each other, and one of those teams is going to get left out of the ACC championship game if all 3 of them are undefeated.
Probably on a tiebreaker too.
It would probably just go to in my mind, it's probably going based on college football playoff ranking. They'd probably just take the 2 higher ranked teams or record versus common opponents. They'd probably use that as a tiebreak. But that's why not playing every team in your division, not having divisions, it's one of the things that it's a good problem to have. You got too many good teams, but someone's going to get slighted if things end the way that they can. So
what they need to do is they need to go drive into the middle of nowhere with a coin and do a coin flip like they did for Permian football.
Well, I think that's what the Big Ten's tiebreaker is. It's something wacky like that. Like you drive out into the middle of the woods, you spin around 3 times, you say Bloody Mary, and then whoever survives gets the title game. Now, in all seriousness, it's like strength of schedule. It's what your strength of schedule did against other teams and their strength of schedule. Something wacky about that. So at least yours seems more common sense, you know.
I mean, I don't think we know. I haven't really delved into it yet. I think we need to check that, but our math budget's still cashed out from your Hartman jersey, so
they should simply put last year's champion in.
Oh, whoa. Relax.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and get into some picks. So, Nick, you want to get us started off on your lock of the week?
Comeback starts now, baby. I picked them right this time. Utah over Cal. They're at home. It's going to hit. Cash it. Minus 13.5. Easiest bet of my life. Go Utes. Roll over the Bears.
Yeah, that means that you're going to lose. Put your money on the Cal Bears this week. That's never a good sign when Nick picks the Utes. My lock of the week is Colorado. Listen, they've played a gauntlet of a schedule. We talk about gauntlets, like we talk about Notre Dame schedule. Theirs has been just as hard. They played Oregon, then they played USC, and then last week they played remind me who they played again?
Arizona? No, that was
Arizona
State. Okay,
Arizona State. They've had a gauntlet of a schedule. That Pac-12 is not an easy thing, so I'll say it right now. That's still gauntlet, even with that 3rd team in there. Stanford's not good. I think that they have the playmakers to beat the Stanford squad up, and give me them minus 12.5 here as my lock of the week.
I like what Louisville's done this year. I think I picked them earlier, pointed out how good I felt like they were going to be. Should have picked them last week too, I think. But just didn't know how they would play against Notre Dame. I think Louisville really could go the whole way undefeated with the way that they're playing. These guys, that atmosphere this past weekend with that crowd was electric. I rescind my birds don't have teeth comment for the time being, and it's always fun to root against Pat Narduzzi. So let's go Cardinals.
And that running back that they played Saturday was unbelievable. I don't know who that kid is, but that kid deserves a new contract. He deserves an NIL deal.
Yeah.
Didn't you pick against them?
No, I didn't. I picked them.
You picked Georgia Tech.
Oh, there we go. I'm never doing that again. I learned my lesson.
Now that Notre Dame's dead, I'm bringing them back. I think that they have the defense to beat USC. It's in South Bend. I've had this game circled as Notre Dame winning it since the beginning of the year. I just don't believe in USC's offense, and I mean I believe in their offense. I don't believe in their defense enough to stop Notre Dame, and I think Notre Dame's defense is legit. I know they had a tough game against Louisville, like David said. I think Louisville's a lot better than a lot of people are thinking. So give me the Irish. I think they beat USC. I think Caleb Williams still balls out, but I think this is a big game for Sam Hartman and Notre Dame because they don't want to end it now. They want to keep going. They're not ready to have their season over. So give me Notre Dame.
Listen, I hope that embalmment fluid is good because we need a win right now. That's Irish, okay? For me, it's pretty simple. Pick them. Tennessee, Texas A&M, both teams that were supposed to do great things this year didn't really do that. They kind of have both felt a little underwhelming. I know the spread has moved since I picked it. It's now at -3.5 for Tennessee, but I took it at 3. I am going to have Tennessee over Texas A&M. I just feel like Jimbo can't coach his way out of a wet paper bag. So give me Joe Milton and those fighting Volunteers.
Yeah, for me, part of this is a manifestation of chaos. I need some teams to lose some games. I'm gonna hold out a little bit of hope for maybe a couple more weeks and see if I can maybe get Duke to start losing a couple of games. I need them to lose 3.
Hey, spread that bad juju, Dave.
I'm you know what? Honestly, this may work in the other direction because I just that's how my season's going this year. You may want me to pick against you. I'm like Lee Corso. Whenever he picks against Clemson, I feel really good. Maybe that's how everyone else is going to feel about me. But I'll rock it. But I'm going to go with NC State this week. They're changing quarterback away from Brendan Armstrong to somebody else. I feel like that's just a good move.
Yeah, it's long overdue.
Yeah, so I think this is the right move. I think that they're going to play inspired. So I got a feeling. We'll see how it goes. With that upset of the week.
Sorry, I read your spread. This one was tough for me. I couldn't really find anybody that was 7-point dogs that I really loved. So I'm dipping back into the well. I already picked BYU over Arkansas this year, and they did me well. Give me BYU over TCU +5. I still don't believe in TCU, and like I said, BYU did me well in the past. So I'm dipping back in. Give me the Cougs.
Yeah, for me, it's pretty simple. I couldn't find any really great spreads that I liked, so I had to find a ranking that was official in the top 25. Oregon's number 8. They're playing number 7 Washington. I really love that Washington team. Everyone knows it, but this is as close as an upset that I can find that might give me a good number still. Listen, because I'm in the lead, so we gotta keep that under my good. I'm struggling for words here, but just give me Oregon over Washington. Oregon's super physical. They've played some people already. I feel like Washington hasn't played a lot of people, at least in my eyes. We'll see how good Penix really is. Hopefully, it makes me eat my words because I'm a really big Michael Penix fan. But give me Oregon here, plus the 2.5. Number 8 versus number 7. Number 8 comes out on top.
All right, Miami. I'm talking to you directly here. You need to get over the loss, man. It's not just 3.5-point spread. It's the emotional damage that you're fighting this week.
You said it wrong. It's emotional damage.
Yep, that's what you're talking about here. That emotional damage that comes from not taking a knee to run out the clock. But you know what? I love the mantra behind that. We don't take knees. There is no quarter. You're going out there and you're going to beat UNC because I need you to beat UNC. Again, because I need things to happen to give Clemson even the fighting chance of getting into the conference championship game. That's all I'm rooting for here is some chaos. Come on, you can do it.
All right, this is a little absurd number here, but I saw
absurd number.
I saw this matchup and I said, no shot am I backing away from a challenge. Give me the over. This is going to be points galore. Both offenses are going to score. Both defenses are going to wish they stayed on the bus. I want this game to be fun, exciting, and I just want a complete polar opposite of Clemson Wake. Give me 100 combined points, please. Give me Washington, Oregon.
Dear God. Okay.
Over 67.5.
Dear God. All right. Well, that's going to be tough to follow up, but obviously we know what I'm taking this week. It's the over again.
Let's go.
We are true Americans here, me and Nicholas, and then we have Darth Vader over there who just tries to rain on everybody's parade. Okay, so listen, I think Jalen Milroe, I spread my bad juju on Alabama enough this year. Nick Saban gets a pass because I'm now focused on that toilet bowl looking stadium out in Northeast Ohio. Jalen Milroe has started to come into his own. People started eulogizing him week 1 through week 4. I think he's starting to find his footing in the SEC, especially in SEC West that has nobody else. I think he can start to play free ball now that he doesn't have to worry about Buckner or Simpson. I also just KJ Jefferson's on the other side. Hopefully he can do something. Hopefully Sam Pittman can do something. Hopefully he brings his A game. Listen, you know what, Sam? Here's my wager to you. If you make 24 points, I will buy you a nice Mission barbecue meal. So I think it goes over the 48.5. I got to pick the over. So
Here we go.
You know what? 37 points. Some people would call me
go ahead, do it.
Some people would call me a madman for wanting to pick the under in this game.
It's
but you know
Iowa.
who's playing in this game? Freaking Iowa. They may score 12 points total in this game. Both the teams combined. I'm picking the under on this. We are going Iowa, Wisconsin defensive battle. I'm pretty sure one of Wisconsin's running backs is out as well. Maybe it's Ches Malusi, which would suck, but I'm pretty sure that they're a little bit injured on the offensive side. That just feeds into it. Iowa's scoring 0 points. It's going to be fantastic. Oh my God, I cannot wait for this defensive battle. Hammer the under.
I just had a light bulb go off like the little cartoon. David's spirit animal is the Hawkeye. The Hawkeyes every week have a ridiculous over under, and they're always going to go under that because they have a great defense and they have no offense, and that's how they win games. So he's officially not a Clemson Tiger fan. He's a Iowa Hawkeye fan. Congratulations to the Iowa Hawkeyes on their new president of their fan base, David.
You know what? I'm aware it proudly. I would have picked Clemson to hammer the under as well. They're on a bye week. I feel pretty good about that pick too. So,
hey, I heard when the OC there gets fired this year because he didn't hit his points quota. I heard they're looking to go hire Dave.
I'll keep it right at 0 points. We're just kneeing.
I was going to say he's not averaging 25.
We're going to knee the ball every time. We're going to be the anti-Mario Cristobal. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, you stink. I smell you from here.
The duality of brothers. We have one that loves points, loves fun. The other that hates points and hates fun.
I'm starting to think that your older brother was dropped off on the doorstep. I'm just saying. Because I know your dad, and I know he likes points too.
What can I say? Something about defense. It just speaks to me.
You need to hear yourself.
All right. Well, the Tigers aren't playing this week, but anyway, go Tigers.
Yeah,
go Tigers and go points, baby.
Yeah, go points too.